G'day, DB. It is our senior podcast here. One of our last ones before the year comes to a close. We are almost there. Now, we had two championship games here over the weekend. Second week of finals, we had a second chance opportunity with Wyndham joining the finals in probably, you would say, an upset loss to Hume, 82-93. Mark, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, well, Hume have been so good all season. So, we say upset loss because it's first versus second, but there was always a very good chance Hume were going to be able to get the win here. Obviously, there was a little bit of foul trouble for Wyndham with Cavion Green having reduced minutes, as well as Manel Yol carrying 4 fouls throughout the game and probably not having the impact that we've come to be familiar with for Wyndham.
Yeah, interesting to see Reece Howard's average numbers just a little bit lower in this game. He did play all 40 minutes here, but just the 20 points. Well, I mean, just the 20 points compared to what he averages throughout the year. But 20 points ago with his 4 assists, he shot the ball okay though. Over 55% from the field. He was 2 of 5 from the 3-point line. He got to the line twice and made both. But you probably hope that he sort of lifts in next game because this is an elimination.
Yeah, they're going to elimination against McKinnon, which we'll discuss shortly. But unusual to see him only take 14 attempts for a game. He usually gets up more, particularly when he's shooting a good clip. So Hume must have deterred him the opportunity and made others try and beat them. And then you look at Hume and you think, gee whiz, it's that man, Troyce Manassa.
Yeah.
33 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, Ted. He's a beast.
Absolutely. Even Elijah Tay off the bench, he did have a grand final that he played after this, but he had a massive impact. He had 18 minutes and 12 points in that time. So a huge sort of spurt off the bench there for Hume to get him over the line, which was a fantastic performance.
Yeah, so Hume will be primed and ready. They get the week off, rest some of their bodies and get ready to prepare for a big grand final.
Absolutely. Now, we look to the early game. This was an elimination. And would you say this is an upset loss as well, or is this just a really good win for McKinnon?
No, certainly an upset. I mean, we knew it was on the cards. McKinnon, I think, might have beaten Sunbury earlier in the season by a point. Before then, Sunbury got the better of McKinnon the next time round. So, but still, we know what to expect of McKinnon. Sharif Black can do anything. So he had another big game, 29 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists and 4 steals. He was huge for the Cougars. And I think Sunbury the wheels sort of fell off a little bit going out in straight sets, unfortunately, for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be honest, from looking at glimpses in this game, McKinnon sort of had a really good scout and they were prepared when they went into this game. They started a little bit bigger than what they normally would with Vandenberg and Beasley both in the starting lineup. And they had contingencies about what they were going to do when Ish Sanders had the ball, where they were going to sort of guide him in the floor and sort of overplay from the baseline or the middle wherever he went. So I think they did a pretty good job with their scout and how they took things away from Sunbury.
Yeah, certainly. And they have that sort of Nathan Davis and Mitch Barry help carry the scoring load alongside Sharif Black, which makes a huge difference. So, the Cougars are peaking at the right time of the season and we're primed and ready for to face Wyndham. It's going to be a very interesting series, Ted.
Yeah, absolutely, and that will be at Wyndham this coming weekend against McKinnon. That will be an elimination game. The winner will progress through to the grand final.
And where's the grand final being played this year, Ted?
That'll be at Nunawading Basketball Stadium. The champ women will be at 5:00 and the champ men will be at 8. It'll be fantastic. Ticket sales will come out very, very soon.
Yep.
So make sure you keep an eye on those. It'll be a fantastic experience. Be sure to put on a massive spectacle.
Yeah, going to be a huge night. Huge night. Let's move on to Division 1 men, where we just had the one game as RMIT and Pakenham went to battle to try and see who was going to go and face Shepparton at Shepparton. Not an easy task by any stretch, but it was the RMIT Redbacks who were able to get up by 13 playing out of Eltham High School. Well done to RMIT for hosting it at a bigger venue to ensure they could get the very best crowd and atmosphere they possibly could.
Yeah, and they did a fantastic job of it, Mark. I think they, like you said, they wanted to get that bigger crowd and believe they did the right thing and moved it to a facility where they could do that and put on a really good experience. And And, it sort of worked to their benefit by the looks of it. Steve Coffey had a day out. I don't know if he was probably disappointed in his game last weekend, but, he definitely showed out here in his 40 minutes, 37 points to go. It is 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 steals.
Yeah, I think he'll be pretty happy with bouncing back, considering he was 0 of 9 from the 3-point line to then come 9 of 15. I think he'll be stoked with his performance, and he'll be hoping he can carry that into when they play Shepparton. And thankfully for him, Matt Spencer also had a really good game. That's a pretty talented and aggressive sort of backcourt you've got there with Coffey and Spencer, and he finished with 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. And really, they carried the load for the Redbacks, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And Poch off the bench in his 24 minutes, he was, by the looks of it, quite influential as well, making the starting 5 this week with his 9 points and 11 rebounds. Definitely just that massive spurt off the bench for him. He had 3 blocks in his performance with 4 offensive rebounds. He's long and lengthy. Is a great character to have, especially come grand final time.
Yeah, really. He clearly caused some trouble for Pakenham, and he'll be ready for the grand final for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll move on to our Division 2 men here as we see Whittlesea progressing through to the grand final. Something we don't want to say expected, because anything can happen in Big V basketball, but it is sort of the matchup that we thought it would be by the end of the season, the Altona versus Whittlesea Pacers. But they did defeat Wallen 104-66 mark. It was Whittlesea's sort of game from the get-go.
Yeah, it's the second quarter that they blew out Wallen. They've got a formidable offensive sort of system. And Gabe Evans led the way with 25 points and 14 boards. He does a bit of everything each week. He's had a great season. Ash Breyer back to his best form, 18 points to go with 6 assists and 4 steals, just wreaking absolute havoc. And Brendan Hughes might have had his career best game with 26 points off the bench, and what a game to do it in an elimination do or die final. That's huge for the Pacers with him coming off the bench and doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Wallen had some really good pieces here that kept them in a ballpark for as long as possible. Tyler Best, 18 points, Keaton Gorski, 18 points with 7 and 8 rebounds respectively. So they definitely fought, considering the margin was quite large. But this team is a group that's going to continue to battle on and on.
Yeah, and I think just a shout out to Akaim Lalamand, who my understanding is he came into the game injured. He tried to push through and he did a great job for the first quarter, but then he was not able to go on. So, bit of a shout out to him. A huge loss for the Panthers, but well done to him for trying to get it done for his teammates.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, that'll be all for us. We have Division 1 men and Division 2 men grand finals this coming weekend. Keep it locked. Big V basketball. It is almost over.